Hello everyone,
Hi guys.
I'm Nino
And I'm Lulu.
and welcome to Thriving at Love
And
and
Relationships.
Relationships. Alright. I'm sure you can see some familiar faces here with us on the table with Nino and Lulu. So with us we have here again eBay and Yerwan, the lady from Taraba. Okay, and we saw your comments. We know that you guys enjoyed our last video where we spoke about celibacy.
Yep. Underrated or
Overrated, and we discussed it, we spoke about it, and we saw your comments. You guys love the topic. But today we are here to talk about something different
Of course it's different.
and popular. This is something that, in fact, the majority of people are going through.
Are victims of.
They are
And
victims.
victors of.
Victims. Wow, I'm victors for that. So, my wife, please tell them what we're talking about.
Okay, so today we are talking about drum roll please. Situationships.
Dun.
Yeah, we're talking about situationships today, and like my husband said, it's a topic that many people have either fallen into or have gotten into with their eyes open, and it's a question that people have actually reached out to us to ask about. So I'm in this situation with this guy. How do I get out of it? What do you think about this person? This person really like me, and so today, with the help of our guests, we're going to be talking about it, and we really do hope that it helps you.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about it from, yes, like she said, with our guests, from the singles perspective. What is going through your mind when maybe you are in one or you just come out of one? How do you guys think about it? Because, I mean, the only situation I'm in right now is marriage. So I can't relate. Sorry.
But we feel your burden.
We feel your burden.
Please don't feel our
Please don't feel Thank you for voicing out. So, without further ado, we're just going to go straight into the questions for today. Now, the first question: what is a situationship? Now, who's going to answer first? Ladies first.
Well, it's fine.
Get them going.
If you see what's wrong with her, she wrote the definition in French and Spanish.
Adjective now. Sorry.
Alright. Simply, situationship is a relationship that hasn't been defined, due to lack of willingness from both parties or one party, and also due to lack of commitment, and lastly due to lack of vision. Relationship.
Come on now.
Long man's dictionary definition.
Everything she said.
No definition.
Everything.
No vision. No
No commitment.
destination. What other action?
No commitment.
No vision, no everything.
So, if you are in a situationship, think about all the definitions. Does your
However, if you think you're in a relationship, do all these things.
clear it by all these. Is it
situation?
Is it commitment?
So you can be able to know if you are in one.
Yep.
Now, on to eBay. What is a situationship?
Situationship to me, I feel like it's anything that you're doing or that you're into that hasn't been defined. There's no official tag to it. So as a guy, if I'm hanging with a girl and I'm enjoying all the benefits without even defining what we're into, and then she's cool with it, trust me, we're in a situationship.
What if she's not cool with it?
If she's not cool with it, then she'll voice her along.
What if she doesn't voice that?
And then she's cool with it.
Exactly.
Silence is consent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Silence is consent. Yeah.
Deep. So ladies, voice out if you're not cool with it.
Yeah.
Alright, so my wife, what do you think a situationship is?
I agree with what both of them have said. That a situationship is really whatever you are inside, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a relationship that hasn't been properly defined, like there hasn't been set terms to this is what we are doing, this is what we're going to. You're already in a situationship, and it mostly happens when you're in a something with somebody that you have feelings for. Because, for example, if you don't have feelings for someone in a platonic relationship, you know that one is friendship. There's nothing happening there.
Yeah.
But when you are in a kidney with somebody that there's either sexual tension or something funny going on, and like you said, enjoying the benefits of the relationship without having
she's washing your clothes,
exactly.
She's coming over to sleep, or she's cooking for you, she's giving you all the coitus privileges.
Okay, moving on.
But it's not defined.
It's not defined.
Yeah,
it's nothing to it.
Okay, so just to add to what everybody said, yes, if you're in a relationship that is not defined, it has no destination, you don't know where you're headed, you know what the future of it looks like, you are definitely in a situationship. And what she said, so what I would say that my conflict what you said that if you have feelings for the person, I honestly believe that there's something I honestly believe that even if you're attracted and you guys are just doing stuff, you might not have feelings for the person, but you might just be running it. And
can a girl actually be having sex with a girl without feeling?
Yeah.
I feel like it's the guy thing.
No.
Girls can be having sex with
some girls have mastered
Zon Y, Zon
they do and few.
Tell me about
the
it.
tables have turned.
Girls can have sex without feeling.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
So that's a discussion for another time.
They've had two people.
But
Let's let them have two people.
Guys, another part. Have to guys.
Okay, so on to our next question.
Yeah.
So, which gender falls more into situationships?
The ladies. I feel the ladies because guys, a lot of guys, let me not say this is me now, but a lot of guys tend to shy away from commitment, especially when they're not so into the girl and they feel like, oh, this girl likes me, And because I don't hate her per se, let me keep her in my space, let her, begin to perform those girlfriend duties. And there's nothing defined. Yeah, wickedness. Yes, I totally agree. Because there's nothing defined, and she's cool with the fact that I'm not even defining anything. So she's coming over to my place, she's spending the night, we're Netflixing and chilling. She's serving me, I'm serving her. If you know what I mean? And we're just cool. We're just cool. There's no definition, and we're good.
So girls then.
So
yes,
girls
fall
into it.
Yes, girls fall into it.
I agree. Girls fall into situationships more.
Why do you think so?
Why do I think so? Well, first I'll say peer pressure influence. Yes, because some people, they don't know what they want, right? So anything that comes, they just accept it and settle for it because they want to give this certain image to people that they also have somebody. So they just fall into it, okay, let me just, and when we fall into it, we are women are very vulnerable, we are softer, we like to give men second chance. The guy can be showing that he doesn't want to, but he wants to still give in and see, okay, maybe I can do something, change him, if I can ignite the love, make it, work and all. But
so the ladies
actually fall into it more, and society pressure and all of that. We fall into situationships more.
Okay.
So but from what they said, yes, I think ladies fall into situationships more than guys because situationships give ladies the idea of marriage, and ladies look forward to marriage more than guys. So anything that has that similitude of a relationship or a marriage, the guy might seem like as if he's willing to go out and hang with you but not being committed. So from societal view, you are with a man.
Yeah.
So it gives you that view that if I'm with him like this, maybe if I continue to do this, do that for him, he will marry me. Guys don't really look forward to marriage as much as ladies do. Guys do, but it's not something that they are. The guy that does not have money is never thinking marriage. But ladies, money or no money, marriage is on their. Marriage is the goal for them. A lot of the ladies that So I think ladies, How about you?
Yeah. I definitely agree with everyone, and I would just say that the fact that we're saying ladies doesn't mean that men fall into it. We're just saying the gender that falls more into it are women. Exactly. So guys usually fall prey of it too, but just women fall more. And I would say the reason is because women do not speak their minds. They don't, because of fear of, if I speak my mind, maybe he will run away, he will disappear, and a bird in hand is worth more than 10 in the bush, like they would say. So women are always afraid to define the terms because they feel like if they do, the guy might run away. But please speak your mind. A guy will tell you wholeheartedly, I'm not looking for anything serious. I just want to knock and go. Someone can say, what I want is marry you. But ladies, even when we want situationship, we will not open our mouth and say it. When you want marriage, you not open your mouth and say, just giving the guy all the cards, and he's really the one who steers the relationship in whichever way it goes. So
very true.
I know, before we even go to the next question, we'll ask just a question before we go into it. I remember when we were in the talking stage. For run this babe situation. For run proper one. But she called me out on the chat. Called me one. I said, come. All this call with you talking. You're talking late into the night, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. What is your plan? And I was like, shit man.
Exactly.
But I just wanted to go with the flow and just
let's see where it goes.
I know I wanted to marry eventually, but at that point, I was not ready for something too serious as as it was. No, I was not testing the waters, but
you just didn't want to commit.
I didn't want to commit at that time.
Exactly.
I wanted to commit in the future.
Yeah.
So
did I force you to commit? Jesus. Wait, you should go into a relationship with me because I forced you.
You forced me to think about it more deeply. As to the reason why I didn't want to bring up the conversation. So it was just a fear I had, and because of past heartbreak, I was like, I don't want to make things too serious too quickly. Because of the past heartbreak that I had. So that was my but she just not close marking.
Ladies, open your mouth.
Yeah. So just so you know. So yes. So next question. We were talking about this before we go into next question. We were talking about this, and I'd like to ask the table. So are situationships the same thing as friends with benefits?
Yeah.
Situationships and friends with benefits, is it the same thing, or if it's not, what's the difference? Let Yawan answer first.
Okay, let Yawan answer first. Yeah.
Well, honestly, looking at it, it's similar. They are brothers and sisters. But okay. Friends with benefits here, like people can actually say, okay, see, I just want to be friends with, like, what's friends with benefits? They don't want to do stuff. Friends with benefits is not only just for knacking now. Just to make out. Some people say it's like that.
Friends with benefits.
Make out where?
Maybe
she
the one
doesn't know. That one is not very promo. She's still friends with benefits plus.
You just agree, like two of you say, okay, see, no strings attached. We are just meeting to calm our body. Yes. Then situationship is where there's feelings, there's people are doing what relationship people are doing, but it has not been defined. Right?
I see.
But the thing is, honestly, friends with benefits used to jump into situationship because at some point, that friends with benefits things will start growing. That's why people miss it.
So they commingle. They're not the same, but they tend to commingle.
Yes. So it's but it's different. If the individuals commit to the agreement being made at first, right? But
so basically, friends with benefits, there are general terms and conditions. There's contracts, but situationship there's no contract.
Yes.
And sometimes in the friends with benefit contract, some people void the contract and go into a contractless relationship.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Wow.
You like that?
I'm learning a lot.
I'm learning too.
So, Ibe, on to you.
Yeah. Situationship, I feel like situationship is a relationship that hasn't been defined. So everything goes down, there's romance, there's a lot of activities, relationship activities. It doesn't even have to include sex because both of you kind of even agree that okay, there's no sex, there's celibacy, but it hasn't been defined. So I can't really call her my girlfriend. She can't call me her boyfriend. But we do what people in relationships do. So we talk all the time, we invest a lot of time in communication, we invest a lot of time in going out, getting to know each other, and it just feels like a relationship, but there's no tag to it. But then that brings me to this point, which I want to ask the table, especially you, as a fellow guy. Do you think it's actually old-fashioned to ask a girl out?
Old-fashioned? I don't think so.
You don't think so? Because there's sometimes that a girl can be so in tune with what you're doing, in tune with everything going on in the situationship, but then when you ask her out, she now begins to draw back.
So maybe define what you mean by asking out. Is it when you say,
You
can you be my girlfriend?
Yes, yeah, like
Okay.
I want you to be my girlfriend.
Okay.
I mean, I've been enjoying this thing for a while, but I want you to
I don't
be
think it's
fine.
old-fashioned, because when you ask someone out, you are to yourself and to the person, you are defining the relationship. No matter the way you can say, I want to be my girlfriend. Do you think we should make this serious? Do you think we should make this a thing? Whatever mode you choose to.
Okay.
I think it's.
Okay, so in that situation, when she pulls back a bit, does it mean she doesn't want it? Does it mean as a guy you should also pull back, or you should try to maybe convince her that, you know what, I'm so into you?
That one I'm cancelling. you are nanny.
Never. I don't think you convince anybody to be
You
in a
don't convince
relationship.
anybody to be in a relationship. They don't like it. They don't like it.
Yeah.
So answer the question first before you.
He has answered.
But
You
you
said
know what?
friends
You know
with
what? I
benefits. You
don't.
didn't answer friends with benefits.
Yeah, friends with benefit is a relationship that hasn't been defined. Oh, sorry, friends with benefit.
Yeah.
Okay, I define situation.
Yeah.
Friends with benefit, you guys are just benefiting from each other. There's really clearly no definition. Both of you have even agreed that you don't want this thing to have a tag.
Okay.
You get like.
So situationship, you both not agreed.
You haven't
Friends
agreed.
with benefit, you have
You're
agreed.
enjoying the journey.
Target.
But friends with benefits, you guys just want to enjoy yourself. No tag. In fact, you guys can even be seeing different
Other
people
and
you
still
know,
come back.
and still come back and have a good time. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. Wow.
What's smelling?
The one said they are not they are brother and sister, and they eventually commingle.
Yeah.
Ibe said that friends with benefits, you guys have defined it. And situationship is not defined. Situationship, you're just enjoying the journey.
Yeah.
But friends with benefits, you guys might even be able to see each other, so far you guys still benefit from it.
Yeah.
Now the question is, are any of them right or wrong? My wife. Because there are so many definitions. Does God see any of these things as
No. There's no one. Friends with benefits, situationship. What God identifies is marriage.
Okay,
Marriage.
fantastic.
And just to chip in, right? So I think that situationships and friends with benefits, I think they are somewhat the same. And I say that because, for example, you know how they would say, I have a what's it called now? Work husband or work wife, right? That's the person that maybe drops you off at home. That's the person that you share your food with. That is friends with benefits, because you're not just benefiting sex in that situation, but you're benefiting. Yes, that's what I think. Do you office anyhow? That's what I think, right? I think that friends with benefit doesn't necessarily mean that you're benefiting sex from the person. It can be that this is the person that I know that I'll run to whenever I have money, and the person is giving to me. And then I can also be the person that when that person is lonely, they are calling me on their phone. That's what I think.
He has a question.
What's your question?
In my own small wisdom.
So in my own foolishness. I'm joking.
And I believe every friend, I know what I'm benefiting from every friend.
Yeah, sure.
All friends,
Yeah.
to me.
Regardless of gender.
So can we then have a tag of friends with benefits, since you benefit
I feel
from the friends anyway?
when we put a tag of friends with benefits, usually it's for sexual benefits.
Yeah.
But all friends you benefit from.
Yeah.
There are some friends,
True.
if I'm going through emotional stuff, I will never talk to them because they lack emotional intelligence. There are some friends that I want to borrow money, I have them on speed dial. I know the first person to call to get me out of the ditch. There are some friends that if I'm in an emergency, they are the first person I'll call.
So how about those people that they are your friends, right? But they have some feelings for you, but you just friend zone them, and you are benefiting something from them. What is that a situationship?
No,
or friends?
wait,
not
wait,
though.
this is my own. No. You are my friend. You have feelings for me. I've told you I don't want. You still decide to be nice to me. I will keep reminding you. You know that nothing is happening. But if you,
but would you not such?
I wouldn't. I mean, I'm married, but in that situation,
if you were not married,
no, you wouldn't go into that anything sexual with that person. If you say that I'm not interested in you, once you say I'm not interested in you, you shouldn't be doing anything sexual. However,
so is that a situationship for the person?
For the person, I believe it's. I don't even know. I think it's in between, because maybe the person is trying to get you. You don't like the person. It's defined for you. It's not a situationship for you. It's not a friend benefit for you. You're just not attracted to the person. The person is just your friend in a friend zone, which is another.
But
aspect.
you know that. Sorry, let me not continue.
Which is another aspect you get. So, but I believe that if situationship and friend benefit only exist when two people are attracted or have feelings for each other. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like he said, one is not defined, the other is defined. My own definition of friend benefit is there is a contract. You and the girl have come together and said, look, I'm not ready to get in a relationship, you're not ready to get in a relationship, but Kondi, they catch me. I like you, you like me, and we've been friends for a while. So far, there's no feelings at all.
That's friends benefit.
Friends benefit. The caveat is always nobody should catch feelings. I'm not ready to. But the problem with that contract is that it's always voided by one person or two people eventually catch. That is friends benefit. There's a contract.
Okay. So now the reason I was saying that is because many times, and I think it's also girls that do this thing, right? You know that this person likes you, right? And maybe you don't like the person, but you're stringing the person along. And you know because the person likes you, whatever he asks the person for, the person will do it for you. So what is that?
That's manipulation.
Wait, in the terms in which we're talking about.
There's no term, it's just manipulation. If you know that somebody likes you, and you don't like the person, but you are using the person's affection for you to get something from them, it's manipulation, it's witchcraft.
It's not that deep.
Okay, thank you. Next question. Thank you. Next question.
So next question. Why do you think people get into situationships? Why do people get into situationships? Whether it's guys, whether it's girls, why do you think they get into it? Ibe?
Okay, for guys, I feel like guys go into situationships when they are not ready for commitment. It's that simple. So in cases like that, a guy could see a girl, he likes her. She's a good girl actually. She's actually a wifey material, but he's not ready for that commitment.
He wants to hook her.
He just wants to. Yeah, he always wants her.
Wickedness again.
That's wickedness, obviously. That's a form of witchcraft because you're actually keeping her away from her rightful husband. Someone might just be, interested in her and wants to wife her, but you want to own her without commitment, without defining anything. You're enjoying what she's giving you, but there's nothing defined. That is.
Wickedness.
That's why people get into.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Okay, then for the girls. No. Why do you?
Okay. Girls get into situationships because they know that this guy is not committed to them, but they just like him. I've been there. Trust me. A girl knows that I don't want you, right? But she wants me, and I've told you clearly I don't want you. But she keeps saying I want you, and I'm like, okay.
So
it's okay to want
me. So you are a wizard.
No.
You don't want that, but you still
exactly.
Okay. Let me tell you.
Being a wizard.
I've been in that situation where I knew, I told her, like I cleared her that I don't want this. She wanted me. It was way back, and I just indulged her. In fact, I felt like I had the power to do whatever I wanted because she was vulnerable at some point.
Did you use that power?
I used that power very well.
Yeah.
And you repented.
And I repented.
And God has forgiven you.
Yes,
and you will do it not again.
I'll never do it again.
Fantastic.
But then I got to a point where with another lady, when I told her that I don't want this, but then she was trying to use trying to be emotionally manipulative but I know you want me. Maybe time will tell with time.
So she entered because she felt that she could change you.
And because she knew I wasn't committed to any girl. So she just felt, let me own you for this period.
So she actually was.
So she came in with her, and she was coming for sleepovers.
So she was a side chick when there was no main chick.
When there was no main chick, So she was always coming around and playing the girlfriend role. And I allowed her. You know what? Play the girlfriend role.
I mean, like, actually, in that regard, you're in your rights.
I have nothing to lose, so.
Wizardry still. Yeah, one.
Well, first of all, this question, why do you get into it? some people actually don't get into it, right?
You
But when you
They stumble.
They find themselves.
yeah. But when you are now in it, the question now is, why do you stay there? Why are you there? Right? Because for me now, to be honest, right, I was once in a situationship. I entered it as per talking stage. It was going, but it wasn't defined. Now the issue was I stayed there. I stayed there because there was no vision, and I didn't know myself. I didn't know what I wanted, because when you stay in a situationship, it clearly shows that you don't know what you want, right? Like you're not clear about where the relationship is headed, because if you're somewhere where you're confused, you don't know what's coming out of it, it means you Steph, you don't even know what you want, because if you work on yourself as an individual, you're able to tell where you're going, what you accept, what you settle for, right? So when you get into a situationship, or aside those that intentionally get into a situation, because to be honest, most girls don't want to know that, okay, this guy is not, you don't want to like date me, I know you don't want anything serious with me. No girl wants to enter that kind of thing, and they don't want commitment.
Most of the girls wouldn't want to enter.
Yeah,
But there are some that want to
no,
enter.
yeah.
Like
That's something I wouldn't mind.
Ebay's ex.
But for the ones that want a relationship, please, like, don't start. If once you see that there's no definition, the guy is not serious, just know that it's not going anywhere. If you don't talk, you have to talk.
Why do you think guys enter into it?
Guys, I mean, it's clear they're not ready for the serious relationship. They're not ready for commitment, so they just enter it as, okay, let me just have somebody to just be doing my stuff. They're actually not ready. They're not ready. Exactly.
But I think another question should be, why is it that girls still stay with guys that they clearly know are not ready for it?
They feel they can change it, they can do
Like
something that
you
will
answered the
move
question
into,
already.
that will move
They
into
feel that they can change
relationship.
it into, they can hack it.
Yeah.
And actually, I believe that some girls have.
No, yeah.
There are some girls that have situationed themselves into marriage.
Yeah.
They've been there,
Yep.
they just
Yep.
forced themselves
Yep.
into the guys.
But how
life.
sustainable is that man?
And
Now
then,
that's
that one's another
that's
question.
another thing.
But has it happened?
Yeah.
It has happened. Is it sustainable? The fact is that you don't know. Because in marriage, you might have knocked yourself into marriage by whatever the guy, God can touch the guy tomorrow. He becomes a good husband and actually learns to love you. Because it's not as if he really wanted to, just like, well, I'm at marriageable age, this baby is just here, she's around.
It's not like she forced him to marry her
I mean,
anyway.
nobody forces you, just like she has just done so much. Some guys will do it out of like guilt, like, no, this girl has done so much compared to all these other girls. I'm like, I'll just marry her. So it just depends on the mindset, and that's the concept for another time. So a lot of girls believe that they can push the situationship into marriage.
Okay.
And also, I also think another reason is because women like security.
Yeah.
And even whether it's a relationship that's defined or not, it's still a relationship.
Yeah.
And it gives them that sense of security. Oh, I have somebody that I can talk to or that I can relate with. So they would rather stay there than be alone.
Okay. All right, makes sense. So, before we go to the next question.
So have we finished answering this question?
Yes, I think okay. You've given your point as to why you think girls enter relationships, situationships, and guys.
No.
Okay, so what was your own view on this?
Oh, okay. So why do people get into it? Okay, so I've given you one for women. So I think also because so it's half and half, because there are some women that enter with their full chest, because at that time what they want is, I just want to have fun. I don't want any commitment. Just like the guys too, is I don't want any commitment. So there are some women that stumble into it because they want commitment. Some other women enter it with their full chest because this time I just want to be joking around. Right?
Okay. So for me, I believe that nobody stumbles into a situationship. I believe that usually for ladies, a lot of ladies just live in self-denial. When you get into the relationship, the guy is already showing you non-commitment moves. But somewhere in the back of your mind, you believe that if you stay around him long enough, it could change or he can become serious. So maybe a guy has told you that he's had a lot of heartbreaks and everything, and then you believe you can be the one that will change his mind. So he's a nice guy, he likes you, but you can clearly see that he's not committed. That's not something you stumble into. a lot of ladies will say, the guy was nice to me, he said sweet words, he did this, he did that, but a guy actually wants to commit. Everybody will make it clear. That wants to commit to you will make it clear. It doesn't take guys that long to know that they want to commit. I'm speaking from a man's perspective. And then for men entering into the situationship, obviously men don't stumble into situationship. Do you get it? A man usually most of the time he likes sex, but sometimes he also likes that companion that you give him. He can take you out to movies. He will not introduce you to his mom and dad or his siblings, but he will take you out to movies. You guys can do all those date things, but after that, just dress to the side. If you give him sex, he will take. If you don't, it's fine. You get. I don't think anyone stumbles into a situationship. You know. So yeah.
Okay, nice one. So that leads us our next question, which is, how do you come out of it? If somebody is in a situationship, friends with benefit, whatever it is, how do you come out of it?
Ladies, this for you.
Yeah.
Most of you are in situationships right now.
Yeah.
And you want to know how to come out of it.
Yeah.
You will hear from a lady's point of view, but I'm sure you also want to hear from the guy's point of view.
Yeah.
So you
let's
hear
the
from
ladies'
both.
point
So,
of view.
ladies, how do you come out of a situationship if you are currently in one?
How did you come out of that situation?
Well,
Sure, from your experiences.
Now bring me out, but that's by the way.
Okay, so did you come out when you?
You were kicked out.
Exactly, you're kicked out of it.
So from your experience, how do you think you can come out of a situationship, or you could have, if they didn't kick you out?
Eviction.
Number one, simple, very simple, to speak out. Just speak out. If you're in a situationship and you talk to the guy, oh, this is what I want, I cannot continue like this, and you see him too, he doesn't want to move it, you know, just say, I'm not doing, I'm done. You come out. The way you entered, you just come out. I'm not doing. Cut him off, cancel him, what do you call it?
Wow.
Because it's easier said than done. What if the sex
Cancel
that she's having with the guy is just too good that she wants to talk, but she finds herself still going back? Because it's one thing to say, it's another thing to do it. That one is harder.
Choose what you want and stick with it. If you want to come out, do everything it takes to come out. If that's your decision, stand by it. If the sexual attachment is strong, you can come out. You can look for ways. Tell your friends about it to help you to come out. There are some situations that you cannot come out of it alone. To be honest, that's another thing. Share with your friends. There are some friends like me. I will knock it in your head. You must leave this man. You must leave this man for the
What
guys.
if they block you?
Block me for helping you to come out of something you are suffering.
What if she's enjoying it?
I said that one doesn't want to come out.
But the
we're
one
talking
that
about
told me
somebody
that
that
said they want to come out,
Okay.
we're trying to help them come out, right? And sometimes you want the guy, you tell him, please stop. I am not continuing this stuff. Like, you know.
Okay, so basically
Come on.
communicate and also reach out to people that can help.
Yeah, that can help.
So that is very
That-
seek help.
Seek help.
Okay, thank you. eBay.
Yeah, how to come out of a situationship. I feel for guys, we can easily get out of a situationship because it looks like, in most cases, the power is in our hands.
Yeah.
So we can easily just ghost, like you said, and in our heads, we are done. We don't even need to tell you officially that I don't want this. We are done, we're done. Right? In some cases where we even move into a serious relationship, you are still in the relationship.
You receive wedding invite.
Actually, guys just dip and enter into marriage.
He comes to the relationship, dusts his feet off, and he's in a serious relationship. He's getting
the
married.
bride has been prepared for
You
him.
get.
Yeah.
Man.
So for ladies, how to get out of a situationship? I feel like communicate more, ask questions. See, trust me, an average guy is always scared of real questions.
Communication.
Yeah. When you ask a question, guy, you know I like you. What are we doing? A guy that doesn't want you for the long haul will shy away from that. And those are the signs to look out for. When you are talking to him and asking him this question, it makes him uncomfortable. But a guy that really wants you will want to engage in that conversation. You get. So those are like the signs to look out for. And I feel like even for ladies, it's easy to come out when you ask these questions, and he is shying away from them, or he's trying to beat around the bush. You just know that he doesn't want me. It's a hard truth, but you need to live with it and come out.
Also, let me just add something real quick. I think another thing that helps is how to come out is when you sit down, ask yourself certain questions. When you come to a place of, call it self-realization or something like that, where you ask yourself, like, why am I doing this? Like, where is this going to? Do I deserve this? Like, how can I settle for just a situation? Someone doesn't want it. Sometimes that thing will kick you to give you more motivation to actually come out. Because when you see that, is this all I'm worth? A man cannot even take me seriously. Like, please go out. Don't be afraid. Leave. People will find you. People that want relationships, they will find you. But you have to leave. That's the thing. Don't stay there.
So self-reflection and
yes.
awareness.
There was a lot of personal stuff. I felt the energy.
It's not funny.
But it's from also your experience.
So, like thinking about it, and like, can you imagine? I was in this type of thing. So that's what's fueling the passion, which is good. So you've also heard from eBay about how to come out. When you ask those questions, those responses will give you a break. If the guy is uncomfortable with those type of questions, it gives you a rude awakening.
It's not
So how about you, my wife?
I think which is tied to what Aaron just said, which is, I think you need to know your worth as a woman. Because, like we've pointed out so many times, women enter situationships because they feel like either this one I can change this one, or because they're looking for commitment or whatever. But you need to know that you're better than this. In the situation where the guy is trying to be funny and he's not trying to answer the question straightforwardly, don't now say, you know what, let me just stay. Maybe I'm asking him too many questions. No, you need to know that you are worth more than that guy is giving to you. And no, like Yaron said, when you come out, you know that there's somebody else who is ready to commit to being with you. I think that's actually the first thing before you even start thinking about. So having the conversation with the guy to really set the boundaries and make things clear.
To self-worth.
Setting boundaries.
It looks like everybody's just attacking the men.
No, but we've already made it.
No, I know it's doing, but I also want to speak to my brothers too, because I know there are some guys out there that maybe the girl is using you and you're in a situation, you want to marry the babe. She's allowing you.
No, she's not using you. Both of you are using each other.
But from this, exactly. Now one is using one more. So for a guy that wants to come out of it, it's just the same thing as what they said. You have to be able to ask yourself questions. I always make this statement, and it doesn't just apply to situationships. I like to make lists and to write things down. And simply, I will say this: if the cost of staying the same is not, how do I usually say it?
If the cost of staying, yes.
Until the cost of staying the same is greater than the cost of changing, you will not change. Which means if it costs you more to stay in that situationship than it does to leave the situationship, then you will not change. If it doesn't cost you that much to leave the situationship, you're not going to change. So what you have to look at is look at the two boxes. What is it costing me to stay in the situationship, and what is it going to cost me if I leave? And you have to decide that it's going to cost you more staying in that situationship than if you leave. And you'll be able to make up your decision. Because I think that we would ask friends to help you. You will talk to the Holy Spirit. You will do all those type of things. Yes, all those things matter. But if you've truly not decided that it is costing me to stay in this situationship, you're not going to leave. So I think just decide that. And remember the statement: until the cost of staying the same is higher, until the cost of change is higher than the cost of staying the same, you're not going to change. So just decide to yourself that it's going to cost you more to stay in that situationship.
So, to our last question.
Okay.
How do you avoid either stumbling, entering, or being in a situationship? Ibe.
How to avoid it? I feel like it's a simple, direct communication with the lady involved. Like if you tell her.
That's from a man's perspective.
From a man's perspective, if she wants what I don't want at the time, and I tell her clearly, I don't want this, I feel like my willpower should be able to control things. I should be able to tell her that, you know what, I'm not going to have anything with you, regardless of how you feel towards me. And I'm putting my foot down, and we're just strictly going to be friends. So I'm putting her in the friend zone, I'm locking it with a padlock, and I'm putting it with the key. Yeah. So for ladies, how to get out of the friend zone, how to get out of situationship. I feel like you should just know. In most cases, ladies get scarred by that experience, and they tend to even avoid the good guys that want them for real. But how to know when it's a situationship and how to come out, two different things. So now you know he doesn't want you for who you want him to be, and he just wants you probably for girlfriend duties, cooking, cleaning, giving him good sex and all that. One way to get out of that is that you ask questions and then he still gives you that notion that he doesn't want the real deal. Then just take it walk. I feel like it might be hard, but take it walk. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, for me, how do you avoid getting into a situation? Well, number one, honestly, I would say is know yourself. Know yourself, because when you know yourself, you know where you're going to, what you can accept, what you settle for. You know the kind of things you accept or settle. Last, like know yourself, your identity, what you are worth. Okay, because some people, if you don't know yourself, you might just be okay with situations. So some people are not in situations because they like it, just because they don't know what's more to them, like what they can offer more. So you just settle. So when you know yourself, there's this, like me, honestly, I know I'm single, but I can't do situationship because I know I am way past that. I'm worth situationship. Like what's that?
Self-worth.
Yes, self-worth. And secondly, avoid people that have that belief, that mindset that situationships are okay. Because in my generation, like, it's okay for some people. So I don't have friends that are in situationships, even though I have them, I don't know, because I don't associate myself with them. I don't want it to contaminate my mind, so I won't settle for it, because peer pressure is real, like influence is real. So don't stay around people. If you want to get married, how can you be around people that are in situationships? You go to people that are either in the marriage or are working towards it. So be careful of the kind of people you have around you, because it can also have an effect on what you choose to go into. And then like I said, from our previous video, I'm a woman of God. So there's something I always tell myself, I'm not living for the approval of men. I am living for the approval of God.
Come on now.
God says it's courtship and marriage. So any other ship that is not courtship, marriage, partnership, according to she said, partnership with her husband, or other ship that has to do with my career and money. No other money. No situationship. So yeah.
All right. Fantastic. For me, what do I think about how you can avoid a situationship? Set timelines. That's what I'll say. Usually for the ladies, when you start talking to a guy, set a timeline. If it's 4 weeks of talking to the guy, set a timeline as to when you want to ask questions. After 4 weeks, you can see that the communication is not just friendship based. You can see that there are emotions there. After 4 weeks, after 8 weeks, ask the question. Okay, so this friendship that we are doing, you like me? I like you. Where is he headed? What do you want? If he says he likes you, then obviously he must be headed somewhere. And you're asking the question. Once you put guys on timelines, it's difficult for them to put you in. You have to box guys in.
True.
If after the next 4 weeks you've asked him a question and he's not answering, and he says, okay, give me time. You say time as to when. How long? When? When do we revisit this conversation? Let's revisit this conversation in December. In December, you bring it up again. So that he knows that, this baby is on my... I have to let her know whether I'm in or I'm out. And that's the best way to avoid getting into a situationship, because you've already locked the thing at the back and the guy cannot just escape. That's my own.
So in the period where, let's say for example, he says, get back to me in December, what's going to happen in between?
So you would be getting to know each other. Get the friendship stronger. Get to know more about him, more about his ideology, because you might eventually find out that the more you get to know about him, you might not even be interested in him. So as much as you like him, give yourself time to get to know him. And before you even end up asking the question, you might have already answered it by yourself by getting to know the guy. So in that space of before you ask him the question, get to know him, and then but don't engage in anything sexual in that period or in any period until you are married. So try your best. Yes.
I agree. I think just any in is still the same thing everyone has said. It says ask the questions. Don't be afraid. Be bold enough to know what you want and be bold enough to state what it is that you want. Don't let anybody emotionally bully you into thinking, oh, why should you ask questions? Because many times I've heard ladies that would come and ask me about this. They would say, "Oh, won't I sound like I'm too?" What's that word it usually is? I'm desperate. It's not that you are being desperate. It's that you want to know where your life is headed to, and you want to be able to take charge of your life and not allow any external influence shake your life or move it in a direction that you don't want it to go to. So, husband, tidy.
Okay, so what are our last comments? We've heard it all. We've heard about what a situationship is. We've heard about what gender we think falls more into it. Why do people go into it? How to avoid one? And we're just going to wrap it up with our final comments to anyone here that is in a situationship you are trying to get out. We hope this has helped you. And we're going to take our final comments. So I'm going to start from my right to my left.
So you might be wondering why I'm wearing this jersey, right?
This is our analogy.
This shows what I am since I can't remember, but I have been a Barcelona fan forever. Yes, that's commitment. I know what I want and I'm sticking with it. And
the heartbreak.
Which heartbreak? Oh, I mean, honestly, even with the heartbreak, but
You
I
still
mean,
stick with them. Okay.
Yeah. So see.
What's that?
Don't worry. So, ladies, let me give you something. You see how men hold football with their destiny, whether they have heartbreak or not. They are still with their football teams. And a guy will now come and tell you, "Oh, I can't commit. Oh, I don't know what we are in." So if a man can commit to his football team, especially some teams here, they call them, they have L at the end of the team.
Liverpool is talking about.
No, they have.
Arsenal.
Okay.
They've answered Sha for me anyways. Yeah. So if they can commit to their team, this I didn't see this ideology for me in secondary school and all, and it made sense. It still makes sense. Think about it. Please just think about it. And lastly, what I will say is there's a preaching I heard from a pastor. He said, "Guide your heart." Okay. Your heart can love the wrong person and can love the right person. Some people are actually in love in situationships, but it is a wrong love, right? How do I explain it? It's not right. So be in control of your heart, because when you're in control of your heart, you know what kind of ship you will go into, right? Take charge, guide your heart, know what it will love, what it will accept, what it will run away from. So because some of us.
So you heard it here. If a guy can commit to a football team, he can commit to you. All right. So, Ibe.
Final take, I would say, ladies and gents, stay out of situationships. At the end of the day, it's a sour taste. It leaves a sour taste in your mouth, and you don't want to be there. Trust me. You don't want to be there, especially if you are mature enough to want the real deal. Situationship will mess up your mind. So I feel like try as much as possible to stay out of situationships. Keep praying and hoping that God will give you your own partner, because that's the only way to go. A situationship will only take you a couple of steps back, and you will not like your journey. You will not like your present situation at that time. So it's best to just keep it moving, avoid it at all costs, and stay focused on what God wants to give you. That's all.
How about you?
Okay, so I would say don't be afraid to hear no, and do not be too invested because you want to hear yes. So if you're in a situationship and the person says no, or before you even enter a situationship and the person says no, it's okay that the person has said no to you, because there are so many other people that can say yes to you. And don't now go and put yourself inside just because you want to hear yes. No is no, yes is yes. Take whatever has been given to you and move on.
Wow, so much wisdom from our panelists today. What I would say is that my closing remarks is that people make time and give time to what is priority for them.
Yeah.
If a guy is if you are priority for a guy and he's committed to you, he will make it in. People, you see guys that walk 2 hours away and wake up 4 a.m. to get to their job because the job is important to them. They've made that commitment and they are riding it through. You ask them, where do you work? They will mention the organization because it's priority for them. People that come out unapologetically to say that they are Christians, their relationship with God is priority for them. So if you are priority to the guy and he loves you and he wants to be with you, he will first of all make out time, and number two, he will commit both privately and publicly. That is all I will say. So if he's not committing to you publicly and is giving you a bubble of, I'm not saying social media, I'm just saying if he's not willing to tell people, you might just begin to think something, because some people can say, oh, they want to hide it from people, but a guy that
they'll put only your hand, only your leg.
Exactly, but a guy that truly desires you would not be afraid. I'm a guy, you don't say I love, you want to tell your guys about it, you want to tell your people about it. So that's to the ladies. And to the guy, be firm. You are meant to be a leader. If you find yourself in a situationship, you're already on the wrong side of it. It's a situation that you want to enter into marriage. I mean, you can't force any woman to marry you. You have to be able to take it because you're the one that's still going to propose in the end. So, know your self-worth and man up.
Exactly,
Right.
man up.
Yeah. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this session on situationships. We hope that you learned a lot. We hope that we brought light. We hope that we're able to help some people that are in situationships or on the verge of entering into situationships. Please, if you learned anything today, please like, please comment, please share, please follow us at the Nino and Lulu, and we will be back once again on our singles session. We don't know when it's coming, but you will be the first to know. So thank you very much for listening and for watching. I remain Nino.
And I'm Lulu.
And this is Thriving at Love
and Relationships.